The Jim and Terry Show, the heavy beats, the heavy burdens. We are weighing things and it feels heavy. And Jim's going to start us.
Okay, Jim. Well, here's where it begins. Through the whole election campaign to bring Trump into power again, you had people talking about these files, these Epstein files, the black book, the list of clients. A lot of MAGA thought in that list was a lot of Democrats because Biden was not releasing the findings, and they preached on it. Matter of fact, his AG and all of these other people that are in power, you name them, the Attorney General,
Pam Bondi,
Kash Patel,
FBI, the Deputy Dan Bongino.
Yeah, all of them preached about releasing this on mega talk shows.
Yes.
You know, with Jim Rogan and John Rogan, Joe Rogan and all these people. They talked about it. And the reason Mega grabbed onto it because they were convinced that the Democrats, those baby-eating, whatever they are, were corrupting in that book. And this was going to be released. Pam Bondi said, it's on my desk. It's on my desk. We're going to go through that and the other things.
Back in February.
All of that. So now it came out, there is no list. There's nothing to see here.
She says.
And then Trump, within his confined Oval Office in front of a leader of Syria, starts shooting his mouth off about all the way back, I believe, to Biden. But then this was 4 years of Joe Biden, this Epstein hoax. A hoax now, is it? Where you were all preaching about it being revealed when you came into power, Mr. President. And now you don't. Now you're firing the person that was in charge of that. You're firing because you don't want any of the information coming out. Looks to me, Mr. President, that you're lying about the whole source of this. It wasn't them. You and your bunch were the ones preaching that this was going to be revealed until what happened, Mr. President? What happened? What stopped you? Is there someone telling you better stop? Or are you stopping because you're telling you better stop? And you can tell how guilty it seems you are, allegedly, by the way you've thrown the mega people under the bus by saying they're gullible, stupid, and they're following the ways of the Democrat, falling into this hoax. This hoax that has the second person in charge in jail for 20 years. She's in jail? If it's a hoax, well, yes, I believe what Trump's going to do is release her because he has to. He's going to have to pardon her.
If you stick with the line, it's a hoax. You got to release her.
And I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if it wasn't even done by tomorrow. That he's going to let her off.
All right, let's consider this: that Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted by a court of peers with evidence that was presented, was given a 20-year sentence.
Yep.
And that was probably light.
Yep.
That's a court of peers and evidence presented and convicted by a court of peers.
Yep.
She's in there for a reason.
Absolutely.
So it's not a hoax.
Absolutely guilty.
Absolutely guilty. So if he overturns a court ruling, a trial, a conviction by a court of peers and a sentencing,
should be his downfall.
It should be the end. We'll never hear from him again. He'll be in an orange jumpsuit himself.
Yep.
And Agent Orange will now be Prisoner Orange.
And all of his followers, all of them, even that 3% every now and then, what I still can't understand who they are, need to say, we need this to stop now.
Yeah.
The only problem is, Terry, we have a major problem. J.D. Vance would take over.
You're speaking my language, and it's not fun to listen to.
It's not fun to listen to.
Not at all. It's
and
very scary.
I believe Trump picked J.D. Vance as his running mate to guarantee his position as president.
I think Trump picked I think there are other.
I think he's handpicked by Trump, and here's why.
Okay.
J.D. Vance is kind of creepish.
Yes.
Now the people that may want to get rid of the president goes, who's going to be next in line? Trump knows that. It's a guarantee. If you get rid of me, that's your next guy.
And so they don't want him there, they will keep him in.
They keep him in. I think it's Trump ways of securing his position, which just makes it all the more dangerous, all the more corrupt. I mean, Trump spoke at a function just the other day and spoke about his uncle. Did you hear this?
Yes.
It's all lies.
Yes.
Every bit of it is a lie. It's not the truth.
Okay, so who listens to this and says, "Oh, that's a good story from Trump"? Who listens to it and says, "That's the truth. I believe it."
Or justify the lie.
Or justify the lie.
Oh, yeah,
my-
well, he's, you know what? He's the president.
goodness.
He had to have something to say there.
He was just joking.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, it was just a joke about a Unabomber.
Yes.
That's what you want to joke about.
That's right. You know,
Yeah.
Trump likes to joke. He
I heard-
doesn't mean anything serious by it.
I heard a comedian was speaking of somewhere, and I think it was a conservative thing, and I don't know who he is, but he said, at this point I'm supposed to have inserted a Jeffrey Epstein joke. It seems to have disappeared. Apparently there was no Epstein
Or
joke.
at least there's a minute or two missing out of the tape of the joke.
Well, now that there's 3 minutes missing.
3
out of that.
minutes now. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's recap this whole Epstein thing. Trump knew him from the time Trump was a business mogul trying to be a wannabe real estate developer in New York. So it's a long-term relationship. It goes back to the 70s. So Epstein, I don't know whether you followed this. I heard that he was not a financier. We used to think he was, but apparently he's not really much. He was a math teacher at a private
I heard it was just
school.
investments and stuff, like he knew the markets or something.
Well,
you know?
he did work for Goldman Sachs apparently, or some other. I don't know. Two retired guys. We don't know the
But
details.
maybe it's like Trump. Maybe that's where Trump learned, because a lot of Trump was just perception.
Yes.
He didn't have that money.
Well, here's
He had some
weird
money.
stuff. Is that the list of who's who and who's what may include agencies, the 3-letter agencies. So is this Epstein just doing sexual favors for clients, or is he, as in the beginning of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover had dirt on everybody, including the Kennedys, so that he could always guarantee he would be safe because he's got dirt? Is it the
Yeah.
same thing?
Well, that's
Epstein
why
thought he would always be safe because he's got the dirt?
Well, this is why I don't believe Epstein took his own life.
Yeah.
He had way too much on too many people. He was going to get off.
Including
Eventually,
Prince
he would have get
Prince
off.
Andrew was charged.
Yeah.
He got off so far,
Yeah.
but
Now, you can claim I didn't know she was 7. I thought she was 18, but still, you're married.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's still a kind of, what are you doing running around with an 18-year-old?
well, we talked about this way back. I believe you and I had been podcasting this long that the original Epstein trial in Florida, he got off with Pam Bondi as the Florida AG.
Yep.
A sweet deal, got him off. He
Yeah.
goes back to New York, but he's prosecuted in New York. And that is where he got snagged. He got off with Pam Bondi, who's the AG for the whole United States now, Pam Bondi.
And there's no file.
There's no file.
There's no file. How can there be no file when there had to be a file at least for his first conviction?
You would think?
You would think there's got to be something.
Maybe it's in Florida. Well, if it's in Florida, here's another link to Mar-a-Lago. Some of the crimes were perpetrated on the property of the current president.
Well, apparently that's provable. I think some of the
it better be provable.
I think
That's what we're
I think
talking about.
some of the but I think some of the victims who testified with the lady being locked up for 20 years,
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Elaine Maxwell, that's where they were recruited from. Mar-a-Lago. I can't speak there. I don't
that's
know.
okay. I know what you mean.
So that's where they were recruited from. So there's unbelievable connections. And even if it's you're turning a blind eye, I don't know if it was going on in your house, Terry. Would you have that? I don't think you would. I don't think you'd be inviting that creep back again. I don't think you would. And you definitely wouldn't bring young girls in to serve them, knowing they're looking at them to take them to some island somewhere and rape them.
This is all guilt by association as far as Trump is concerned. Which
Well, what you'll do for
it's
money.
not what you. Yeah, it's
What
part
will you,
of that.
what will you do for success and power and money? And I'm sorry,
what did
be
Epstein-
poor. Be poor. I promise you'll be better off.
You'll avoid a lot of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So corruption, follow the money. Russia. It's all wrapped up in Epstein, and it may be the undoing. We hope. But this has been going on, 2017. You and I have been talking about it since the Florida case got thrown out, tossed out. A sweet deal.
Well, the crap that's going on, Terry, just think about it. Putin sent and publicized a picture of Melania
Yes. Yeah.
That was a message, Mr.
Of course
President.
it was.
I've
We've got
other-
more.
Yeah, it was like Elon Musk said, because Trump is in the book. Well, as I said, he might be in the book, and you might be able to explain that. Then explain it.
Yes.
Just explain it. Yeah, I took his jet 3 times. I mean, I needed a jet, and he lent it to me, and I took it. You know.
There's so much more to come out, and I'm hoping this will be the undoing of the, what did you call him, Tangerine Mussolini. New term for me, but it means the same thing. A dictator,
Yeah.
the higher and heavier they are, the farther they fall, heavier they fall. I'm not sure what the word is. I'm hoping there's an accountability. I'm hoping there's justice.
All of you who have moral spine, flee to Canada. We could use you.
There's a shout out from the Jim and Terry Show. We're looking for positions. Bye for now.
And the toil of my hand has got me so far into this promised land.